start with James Gunn. Dre said the James Gunn isms were one of the biggest problems with this movie. Chief among them, what he did to Jor-El. We'll just say it, the abuse he inflicted on Jor-El's rear end is unforgivable. I don't care what random iteration you pulled it from, doesn't matter. This is Jor-El's background for the past 30, 40 years. It's the canon lore at this point. You don't do it to suit yourself, but that's what James Gunn does. He does these things to suit himself. And there's been a discussion for a week now of, oh, did they really mean to do it? Oh, they'll just fix it. They'll retcon it. Well, let's listen to what James Gunn has to say, shall we?
Has it been doctored? Is that the actual
How
message?
can someone not think it's real?
I'm just saying.
How can someone? I don't understand. Like, we did this. So in the test screens, people were like, is it real? You know, with AI, nobody trusts anything. Okay. In the movie,
You make a point of saying,
he said,
Mr. Terrific says it's real.
Mr. Terrific says, I know those computer forensics guys. There's no way. That's Mr. Terrific. Smart as
Could we pause it?
And I have.
That was just such bad writing that he was highlighting there. Is Mr. Terrific happens to know all the leading computer experts in the world to know, oh yeah, I assume that my friends are the ones who looked at it and I trust my friends. And this should have been doctored. That should have been the solution of the film, because Lex Luthor is trying to manipulate the world, and that's an easy way to manipulate. You have the source, you can replicate the way that his parents looked. But the reason people want to figure out how it's fake is because people want it to be fake, and he's not realizing that. He's thinking, oh yeah, people, they're just not figuring out the clues I left for them. Here, let me lay out the clues and they'll understand it and like it. He's not able to look past his ego and say, wow, people are desperate to poke holes in this. Maybe there's a reason why. Maybe it was a mistake. Instead, he just laughs at how stupid he thinks the audience is. And it's just, again, his ego is controlling the way that he responds to this film, the way he created this film, and he's just digging deeper holes for himself. Because, yeah, that's bad writing. Just having, oh yeah, all the computer experts say without a doubt whatsoever that it's real. There's never going to be that consensus. There's never going to be 100% of anything when you ask experts for something, unless there is manipulation, unless there has been some backroom deals, unless there is some deception going on. That's the only way you're ever going to get 100% consensus like this. So his lines like that are actually reinforcing the fact that it was probably fake. And so he's not intelligent enough to realize that, though.
No, but this is James Gunn. James Gunn does what James Gunn wants for James Gunn. He did this because he wanted to do this.
Which I have a question for both of you about this.
Okay.
Is this desecration of Jor-El worse than Pa Kent dying in the tornado? To the film, not like is Pa Kent's damage worse than Kal-El's?
It's worse
the
to the film.
Character.
It's worse. It's worse because that's just a bad way to kill off Jonathan Kent. That's just a dumb choice way to kill off, because you demean. I keep swapping those words lately. Excuse me. You diminish both Jonathan Kent in his intelligence and Clark in his abilities, because you look at the whole tornado thing, he's fast enough to have saved him and not be seen. That is the bottom line of that scene. If you understand how fast Clark Kent is, he could do that and no one would see him. Or at the most, in that almost
basically
in
a
that
black
scene,
hole later on.
And in that scene and instance, there's so much wind distortion going on, it would maybe look like a blur, to quote Smallville, the red blue blur. It would have been a blur. People wouldn't have seen anything, and you can attribute it to the tornado going on there. It would have worked. You didn't have to kill him off that way. This is your beginning. You have now planted the seeds that Jor-El, as we talked about last week, is essentially Zod. And I've heard the cope of, well, maybe he's actually Zod and he sent the message and that's really Zod and not Jor-El. That would be a massive freaking retcon. And I don't think James Gunn is intelligent enough to even do that.
I don't think his ego will allow him to do that, because
that's the other point.
He would have to admit that it was the wrong decision.
There it is.
If he retcons it.
My next question. Let's finish what he's saying. I'm going to ask you guys that question. Let's let him finish here.
Maury, the Secretary of Defense, say, I think whatever you think about Luthor, but it's real. And then the clincher is that Gurkos and Lex are walking together.
He's so proud of himself. Listen how proud of himself he is here. He's so proud of himself.
He thinks
Right.
he's so
And,
smart.
Gurko says, you doctored the message. This is great. And Lex says, it's not a message. It's not doctored.
Right.
It's real. And who thought his own parents would be the ones to bring him down?
Okay.
All right. To now Jed's point on this.
Ugh.
And that's the question I asked. People are saying, oh, they're going to retcon this. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think James Gunn doesn't care that people are angry about this. He doesn't care. He cares. This is an interview that was given this week. Look how happy he is about this. Dre, he's not going to change this. He's going to
Under
leave it
no
in.
circumstance. Under no circumstance would he change it. Because it's, first of all, it's some of the worst writing I'd ever seen. And it's bad. And I'm willing to bet my testicles that those scenes were
Ouch.
added post. Okay. Those scenes were added post. I guarantee they were not in the original shoot. I guarantee it. They shot it the way they shot it. And then somebody in James Gunn's camp was like, hey, we got to find a way to justify this real quick. And then they go and shoot those scenes of everybody just collaborate. Everybody. The fact that Mr. Terrific didn't investigate is insulting.
Just have him say, I use my tech. He's got it pulled up on his computer. I've got doctoring checking tech.
Anything. The idea that Mr. Terrific was like, oh, yeah, I know those guys. So they wouldn't make it up. What? Yeah. You're the third smartest dude in the DC universe. You think people don't lie? What are you talking about? The idea that, like, oh, hey, it's okay because I got this this corroborator and this corroborator. Everybody agrees that it's that it was real, bro. How much more sense would it make for it to be, the message that's always been, my son, I'm sending you as a beacon of hope to the people. How easy is that? So we all can understand that Lex is a bad guy. You then make Jor-El a villain.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Hey, like go there, rule the people, and bang all the hot chicks. I'm sorry. What? Where did that come from? As we talked about last week, that means that that Zod and Jor-El would have been one and the same. They would have worked together. They would never have had a rivalry, and everything would have been fine.
Well, yeah. I'm ready for it. The most retcon that we could possibly see is in Superman 2 or something. Zod shows up with a mask or whatnot, and then it revealed that it is Jor-El, and that he's like, my college nickname was Zod, and I just thought it was cool.
Oh, God.
That's the level of what I'm expecting.
And
James Gunn can hear you.
No matter what, he's not going to retcon it. I don't think he's going to. Some people saying he's retcon it. I don't think he's going to do it. I agree with what Jed says. His ego won't allow it. He thinks he did such a good job. Look at him, his face right here. Look
That's
at that.
smug.
That is the face of a man that just ejaculated.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.